Hello. Okay. It's 13th of January, 2021. This is a don't be stupid, don't win stupid prizes message. I'm not going to shout up and down, yell, rant, rave like AJ. I appreciate the man. If I could arrange it, I would join him and the two of us would bitch slap each and every person that fucked up so far this year relative to all of this election shit. And I don't mean just the people that cheated. I mean the people that were dumb fuckers and put everything energetically at risk by doing stupid shit. So here's the thing. If you know me, you know me. If you don't, you don't. Go look me up. I'm in the woo-woo business. I know things. I know things because of my life experience. I'm 67 years old and I've lived in woo-woo for all of those 67 years. So I'm here to say that my claim to fame was making accurate predictions, and some of those accurate predictions were off by a couple of years, but they're coming factual now. I did so by a unique discovery relative to language and emotion that could be applied to computers and the internet when the internet was not censored. Really, when the censorship came in and these butt heads that I call the blue chicken cult guys started messing my software up by mucking about with my data, the censorship destroyed free speech, and my emotional logging system basically needed free speech to work. So it's not there anymore. However, prior to its failure, I got a really good picture of what the shit we're going through now. Those reports are circulating on the internet. I don't sell them anymore. I'm not trying to make money off of any of this shit. I'm trying to say right at this moment that I know a bunch of my cousins, black cousins, yellow cousins, red cousins, white cousins, green cousins for all I know, humans, are going to be really fucking stupid, and they're going to win stupid prizes, and they're going to walk into a trap, and they're going to contribute to lengthening out all of this emotional angst. Many of them will die. They will waste their energy. They will pollute the lives of their families by their deaths and by them winning stupid prizes. Because if they don't die, they're still going to win stupid prizes. They'll be in comas. They'll have brain damage. They'll have their bodies all busted up. And it is for no net gain. It is a waste of their energy. So my thinking is, because I'm not stupid, well, or rather I am stupid. I'm a really dumb fucker, okay? I've been a schizophrenic all of my life, and I've had to think my way out of the damage that does to one's mentation. And so I've devised ways of doing this that keep me on the straight and narrow, and keep me from being a stupid person winning stupid prizes. I know that these times are not normal. I know that these times Earth is receiving all different kinds of energies that are getting humans all whipped up. It's going to get worse. So you, as agitated as you are now, in the normal course of things, 6 months from now, it will be worse. And you will have to live with that. You're going to have to learn to live with that. So, but right now, those energies that are coming on in are all in this stew of everybody else's emotions that are being triggered by this invasion of the United States that's coming out into the open now, that is the CCP, the Communist Chinese Party, that's slaughtering the Uyghurs the way the Nazis slaughtered the Jews, and it's coming out now in the United States. This has a lot of people necessarily very upset because they don't want to lose their constitutional republic. They're also very upset because many people willingly or unwittingly do not see what these individuals also see, as I do. this invasion by the CCP. This gets patriots necessarily, and constitutionals like myself, right? It gets us necessarily upset about the potential for civil war, for generalized breakdown, for a generalized destruction of the Western civilization. This is not just America, okay? It's going on in Uganda right now with their elections. It's going to hit every Western republic. The CCP, the Communist Chinese Party, are very, very, very clever fuckers. And they've been working this shit for 50 years. Go read this book, Unrestricted Warfare. You'll get their plan. It's laid right out in front of you. It's on Amazon. It's cheap. While you're there, buy the Anti-Fascist Manual and the History of Anti-Fascism for the last 100 years and read about the enemy class. Okay, but this is cultural Marxism. It's not economic, and that's even worse. It won't last, but even though, okay, basically, I'm saying don't be stupid now. Don't waste your energies. Don't expend them now, because you're going to miss it. You can get yourself killed in the next 10 days, and your family will grieve. They will be destroyed, and you will have missed the greatest fucking opportunity of any human's life in the last 1,000 fucking years. Okay, I may be batshit crazy. I may have been batshit crazy all my fucking life, but it does not make me wrong. I've got patents, okay? So I'm not wrong on this shit. I worked at the very top level of computing companies around this fucking planet. They used to come and get me to go and fix shit for them, and I would be so annoyed I would make them pay vast quantities of money, but I always did it on this weird way just to annoy the fuck out of them. And I would say, okay, I'll take the job for X amount of money. When they woke up from that faint, I would tell them, hey, don't worry. If I can't solve it, I won't charge you a fucking dime, but you got to pay my expenses to get there and get back. They always paid me, and they were always happy to pay me. So I know what I'm talking about, right? My software was analyzing and predicting future events. I used to have all kinds of videos on my channel with YouTube. YouTube got pissy. That's just not happening anymore. I'm not here to convince you that I was accurate in any of that, but if you go talk to people in the woo-woo community, they'll say, yeah, he's a crazy fucker, but look how accurate he was. Okay, so that aside, understand that we're in an energy matrix at the moment, and that energy, according to my calculations, is going to peak on West Coast time, because that's where I live. I'd never figure time any other place for this kind of stuff, so you'll have to translate it, okay, but that energy is going to peak around 11:38. So let's just say 11:30 p.m. on the 20th of January. And then it's going to gradually trail off into March, about March 15th or so. But during that period of time, there's going to be these other energetic crises that pick up off of the, and get us all emotionally whipped up again from the 20th onward. And then it's just going to keep going like that for a few years. And that's just the way the energetic flow reads. So I know that there's more shit beyond the 20th. Huge more shit. Okay, and so if you're a dumb fucking white cousin of mine who thinks this is about a race war or anything like that, you're wrong. And you're likely to go get dead for no fucking good reason. And it's not about race, okay? That is so minute a little fraction of it that if you think it's about race, then you can know, ah crap, look, just broke my glasses. You're being played. So if you think it's about race, you're being played. If you think this is about USA politics, you're being played. Don't be a victim like that, right? Don't let these guys pimp you out and whore your energy for their net gain. So if you show up in DC, for instance, and you cause a ruckus, and you're on the right, you're doing the left a huge favor by being a propaganda show for them, all right? They're still going to have that ruckus. But if you don't show up, they got to pay somebody in there to go and fight their other guys. Truly, that's what it's going to happen. And so why should you participate? Yeah, you're going to get, I like to fight as much as anybody. I spent decades, most of my life in the martial arts. So I like to fight. But I don't fight stupid. I don't win stupid prizes. I don't want my cousins to win stupid prizes. This is not a good time to be out of control, especially since there's external energies coming in from space that are causing all of this planetary warming and cooling and all of this other kind of shit going on with the planets that are also affecting you. And so you got to be aware of that, right? That you're not basically in your normal mind. Whether it was right or not, doesn't matter, right? It's just not your normal batch of crazy. Be disciplined. Control yourself. A warrior does not expend his energy. You know what they say? You know what military guys say about? I wasn't born. I was hatched. Okay. I'm a military brat. I was hatched into the 101st U.S. Army Airborne. Screaming Eagles, right? My father got a battlefield commission in Korea. He was a lifer in the military. I went through the War College because I helped him with his homework. War College in Leavenworth. I went through that War College when I was 13 because I had mathematical ability. And because of my schizophrenia, I had to train myself to read for comprehension. And so I was very good at reading for comprehension. Slow, but I was very good. And that slowness, by the way, was what made me invent this software product that aided me to read from computers up to 2,000 words a minute. So see, it's all this shit's interconnected. Anyway, though, so I have these skills relative to military analytics, and I've got a military history. And it is true that generals and other people that have to control men in battle recognize that they'll get 100 soldiers. Out of that 100, 90 should not be there. 90 should be home, tending their gardens, working in the local mall, working at a shop, doing any fucking thing other than be there. 90 people out of 100 men in a unit are an impediment because they should not be there. They're going to cause problems just by their sheer presence because they will react wrong, okay? So that means you've got 10% of those people. And I'll tell you something here in a second that's a big secret. But 10 out of those 100 people, 10 of those men are fighters. Only one of those men is a warrior. And you'll know who that person is because he'll let the other 9 trudge ahead of him, and you'll see that fucker out there surveying and looking, and he'll be the one that comes back. All right, maybe not any of those other guys, but when you see 100 men go out and 1 come back, that's that warrior. And you want to promote that fucker, and you want to cultivate him. So that's my lineage, and I'm proud of it. So I'm telling you that that's how the military sees this. So you don't want to be, if you're one of those 90, you sure the fuck don't want to go out now. All you're going to do is contribute to the enemy's momentary propaganda victory on that day and cause yourself and all of your family grief for fucking years. So don't do it. Be smart. Don't win stupid prizes. Now, if you're one of those 10 and you think you know how to fight, then I've got a hint for you, okay? When it comes down to it, our enemies are very weak, and they don't know it. They have yet to recognize it. They will soon. But I know for a fact, because of who I am and who I know around this planet, that the CCP has their own Nazi-style SS troops, and these are just brutish thugs. These are not soldiers. These are not fighters. These are the people that are going to waste themselves in the first few minutes of a battle by thinking they're invincible superheroes, and they're going to go rushing out there and get themselves killed. But the PLA has a serious problem. This is the People's Liberation Army that the CCP nominally controls. And there's a whole lot of shit about that as well. CCP is not even itself unified. Our enemies are weak, and their forces are weak. out of our 100, we'll get 10 fighters. Out of their 100, they might only get 1. And so they've got to have a huge attrition rate. True, there's, you know, millions of the fuckers, but it's going to cause a real problem for the PLA in a modern fighting situation, a modern warfare situation, because they've never faced what they're going to face now. They were mopping up a weak and divided and corrupt enemy, the Chiang Kai-shek government, the nationalist Chinese that they chased into Taiwan and made into some of the most hardened thinking people on the planet by concentrating them into that little island and being on their case for 70 years. That was how they took over China. Since then, the PLA has effectively fought no real wars. There was Korea, and they were fierce, there was no doubt of that, but they exhausted themselves in a very brief period of time, and MacArthur was quite correct. He could have wiped the CCP off the planet in about 6 months, had he been allowed to do so by Truman. Another story for another time. Anyway, though, so this is what we face. We're going to have, as part of sci-fi world, we're going to have to deal with these Nazis on the planet that are killing the Uyghurs and go plan on killing other people too. I mean, they've got camps that they're planning on building all the fuck everywhere. This is not a battle here in the United States. This is global war at a way we've never waged before. So, I don't care what color you are. Don't care about what you think about your gender, you know, what you got down there between your legs. But I do care about what you got up here. And I want you to really sit down and think about what you're risking and what you're going to gain and take your emotion out of it. Okay, it's difficult, but that's what we do in the martial arts. This guy who's suing me has this stupid phrase that butt kicking, or Zen ends when butt kicking begins, right? And he's an asshole. And I've done Zen, I've done true Zazen, you know, sitting Seiza and overnight meditations and all of that kind of shit where, you know, where the goal is to be acutely aware and twitch just before they strike you on the back with that split bamboo sword, so that you can tell them just by your body movement that you've not drifted. So anyway, so he's wrong. You need to separate. You need to get your emotions out of it in order to kick butt, okay? In order to know when to move and when not to move. That's the whole point of life, to learn what to do and what not to do. This is your turn to learn.